You're listening to the Kick Your Boots Up podcast, where we swap stories of the West. Whether you're just waking up or getting in for the day, come on in and kick your boots up. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us for a special edition of the Kick Your Boots Up podcast. We're so excited that you're listening, and this week's story in this episode here is going to be one to tell. Michael Baca, here, one of Justin Brand's own, actually, is here to talk about the WESA trade show. And what's special about Michael is he actually is a board member of the WESA Association, so we'll kind of get to dive in a little bit deeper on that. But before we do, Michael, first of all, thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the time out of your sales meetings, all that, to talk with us.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
And also, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you found yourself in this industry, and even how you got into WESA on the board.
Okay. I can give you a short version or a long version.
We want it all. We want all the details.
I grew up wearing cowboy boots, living the Western lifestyle. Wasn't a rancher by any means, but, had animals, livestock, that kind of stuff. I just loved it. Believe it or not, I had a kid really young, so I kind of had to grow up quick and get a job. Worked a bunch of little odd and end jobs. Ended up managing restaurants and bars. From there, got promoted to management, and then became a manager of a retail store, Cooper's Western Warehouse. Worked there for a couple of years, and they said, well, you should try being a rep. You'd be good at it. So I became a rep.
And the rest was history.
Right.
That's awesome. And we're honored to have you on the Justin team. I know you get to sell a wide variety of our brands, and that's fun too. But the consumer out there that's listening and getting to see these bonus episodes from this week, they don't really understand what WESA is, and the point of you guys being here as salesmen and all of that. So the Western and English Sales Association, it's a mouthful. It's here, and we meet twice a year, every 6 months, but it goes far beyond that. I mean, retailers come to do all their buy-ins, but you guys as board members have got to do a bunch more. So talk to us about that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, WESA's been around 102 years. So wrap your head around that. 102 years of this organization being a part of this industry. The reason why WESA started was because the salesmen of these manufacturing companies, they're, in a sense, we're the middlemen, between the buyers, retail buyers, and the manufacturers. The salesmen wanted to provide the best possible experience for the buyers, and try to get all the buyers in the same place at once to maximize their time and ours, and really help continue to grow the industry that we've grown to love.
And I can tell you're really passionate about it too, being able to rattle off facts like that. That means you've spent some time getting to know the association, getting to know the board members. Right. I know you guys meet. How often do you meet planning this?
Yes, so we meet in 3 official meetings a year. They run the weekend so they don't interfere with our work on the road. So you get nominated, and it's a not-for-profit. So you really dedicate your time. You've got to want to be on the board to be on the board. It really is, you do it for the love of this business. We meet 3 times a year. It takes 2 or 3 days, depending on if you're on the executive committee, you've got to be in an extra day. And then I'm just a voting member, so I get to sit and, speak on behalf of everyone in the industry about where we're going to move forward in this organization.
What a fun position you have, I think, getting able to kind of get out there and put your opinion forward to let the voices be heard from not only the retailers to respect and protect your customers, but also just from the brand's perspective. I mean, you have a lot of knowledge there too. So tell us about how important it is for you guys to come together like you have as an association and have these shows, twice a year, but also like build that experience for people. What's that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Most of our retail consumers might not see a rep but twice a year. So these shows are super valuable to them. They can really buy for their entire store, visit all corners of the marketplace, and really maximize their customers' profitability and experience. So, there's no other industry like the one we're in, and I would like to say that WESA is the reason for that. All the hard work that I'm 100 years later, but it started a long time ago. And we're just going to continue to maximize the experience for both manufacturer, buyer, and the sales rep like myself.
I couldn't agree more. And what do you think is like the biggest fulfillment and reward that you get out of being a member on WESA? Because like you said, not for profit, it's volunteer, you spend your weekends. So what do you get out of it?
Well, I mean, there's definitely some benefits. Being a member, you get to meet everybody, not just within our realm. I sell boots for a living. I've sold hats, I've sold belts, I've sold shirts and jeans. I've been around. But I get to go down and meet people that sell tech. I get to meet people that sell gifts, toys. Get to talk a little bit with them, hear their experiences being in those meetings. We have our annual meeting that's open to to all the WESA members. That's in January, and we get to hear everything, all the concerns, where we see where we can improve, where we've really exceeded at. So if you ever get to be a fly on the wall, I'm that. I get to see it from a lot of different angles that I wouldn't normally see being just a sales rep or not being a part of this organization.
And I'm going to get a little bit personal here, Michael, with you, because you have that experience from when you started in the beginning in retail. Mm-hmm. And so to me, it feels like you're really going to bat for the retailers and more specifically the consumers, because you're able to put objects and products in front of the retailers that are coming to buy, which then in turn, all of the consumers out there like you and me are going to turn around and give our hard-earned money to all these businesses. And so what's it like for you to have that impact?
Oh, well, starting at retail, you cut your teeth, so to speak. You get to learn like the habits of the consumer. You get to learn just everything, foot types, body types, all of it. And then if you care about it, you take passion in putting the right product on them, whether it's about boots, hats, whatever. So the retail was a huge part of why I really enjoy the wholesale part, because when I talk to my buyers that, these guys own stores and they spend hours in them stores and they know what works. So being in retail, my experience there opens my eyes to listening to them a little bit better and not saying, well, even though this product might be the best selling product for us, it might not be the right product for them. And I'm really able to, transition into the right product for them. So that's how the retail aspect really helped me and the wholesale side of things.
And I can tell that too. And talk about your experiences a little bit. I know you have to go back a little bit.
No.
In the very beginning, there's a lot of people out there that are working the sales floor right now. They're in college. They're just trying to make paychecks, just trying to get paychecks to make rent. Talk about how important it is to start at the bottom and where it will get you the opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. I always tell everybody, I came from nothing. I don't know anybody. Didn't come, I shouldn't be I'm blessed to be where I'm at, hands down. The only reason I would say I've gotten to this point in life is because I really took a passion to boots and to hats. I loved them. And so when I started in retail, somebody wanted to try on a new pair of boots? Heck yeah, let me get on there. Let me fit them, make sure they fit right. Look at the quality. Talk about the features and the benefits of the boot. If there's a new exotic leather that showed up at the store, I wanted to talk about it to whoever I could. If there was a rep that would come in and do a boot seminar or a hat seminar, I would ask them questions before and after, like, well, how come the boot does this? And why are you guys moving to this color and toe? Really just asking questions because I cared, and it's fun. It's really nice whenever you fit somebody in the right boot and they've never had that experience before. They don't go to the store, back to the store because of the boot. They go back to the store because of you. You did them a solid and got them in the right product. So they're going to take their trust in you. And I had a lot of that experience at retail. Really did.
And I think that could go the same for here at WESA. When you're meeting with all your buyers, all the retailers, the way you treat them is important too.
Yes.
And talk about the standards there that the WESA as a general, every business that is participating in WESA has an end goal in mind, which is sales, but they also want their customers to feel, their retailers to feel some type of way. So how important is it to have that aspect of it?
Oh, yes. So again, making the buyer happy. So we can't always do that, and we mess up. Everybody messes up in this business, But if you're there, you be as honest as you can. Say, look, I might not be right every time, but I'll be there every time. They'll really trust you. Continue to make the right decisions on both of your behalfs. Discuss those, have those real conversations with these retail buyers, and make sure that I know you absolutely love this boot. Don't, it might be a little soon for your area. Let's hold off. Or if there's something that they're not sure, but you're going to be they're going to have success. You know what? Take a chance. Let's take a chance on this together. If it don't work, I'll do everything I can to make it right. So, yeah, just that equal partnership in this, we're both here for the same goal. And it's, we're all here to make money, yes, but for that end consumer, that kid that's never worn a pair of boots, put a first pair of boots on and them fit right and he just likes the way they look. Or that 85-year-old that says he can't wear a boot no more because his feet changed and they hurt him. And you're like, well, technology's changed. Let me show you something that might work. And he gets to wear a boot that he hadn't worn in 20 years because he felt like he couldn't do it anymore. So, just that's how it gets to the end consumer, and our experiences here, working together, get them there.
Help that for sure. And I love that you said those are like some tips and tricks.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I've got to kind of lean in on that a little bit more and ask, like, what are some tips and tricks to maneuver WESA? I mean, it's long, exhausting. This particular show, for those of you out there that don't know, is actually shorter. It's not as many days, but in January, that's like the big beginning of the year, fresh start, buying opportunity. And I'm sure there's long days. You're tired. So tell us some tips and tricks that you've learned over the years. How do you survive this long experience at WESA?
I don't know if I should say this, but when you first get in this business, it's so much fun. You have the dinners and after hours, and you just socialize so much, and you wear yourself out. By day 3, you're not worth it a crud. So my tips and tricks to lasting or maneuvering through WESA is have a little bit of fun, but make sure you set a bedtime because, you're here for your work. You're here for business, and you need to be there and be your best. So that's probably my tip of the day for WESA.
Hey, that's really great advice because especially people here in the Western and equestrian industry, for the show here, we're all relational. The industry is so small, and I feel like it gets smaller. Every year it feels, even though it's growing, it's just the more people you get to know and you're exposed to. So that's really great advice because you want to hang out with your friends. You want to go out to the other showrooms and see what they have to offer, but at the end of the day, you're right.
I will say, every time I leave this place, I give everyone a hug and tell them how much I love them. And we might not see each other for 3-6 months, a lot of these people, and might not even talk that long. But as soon as we all show up and start unloading samples and setting up showrooms, it was like I saw all of them yesterday. Like everything takes off where it left. It's amazing. This industry is the only industry I've ever had that experience with, where the relationships are so strong and tight, where it don't matter if you haven't seen a person in a week or 3 months or a year. It's like you never left their side.
And why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's the culture of the Western world. We're not everyday people. We're down to earth, salted, grain, whatever that phrase is, people. And we don't like to lie, we don't cheat, and there's a lot of reasons. It's got to be all of that.
It's perfect combination for sure. And I think that's good to hear too for the consumers out there that buy from the retailers. They know that they're buying from trusted sources, trusted people, the quality and the name behind a brand that is involved in WESA too. That means a lot. So Michael, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us and explain to us a little bit more about what WESA is. And I hope we get to do this more to come. January coming up, we can do some more fun things. So
thank
you.
Come in.
Yay.
Thank you.